Hello everyone, welcome to the Aseem Chhabra show. My name is Aseem Chhabra. I'm a freelance journalist in New York City and I'm also on the board of the South Asian Journalists Association. Exactly a year ago, when most of us were getting ready to have a Thanksgiving turkey meals with our friends and family, 10,000 miles away in Mumbai, which is the commercial and the film capital of India, people were dealing with a completely different experience. The city was being held hostage by 10 terrorists who had arrived from Pakistan by water and had taken over 2 hotels. They had already shot a lot of people in a train station, also in a cafeteria, in a restaurant which was very popular with Western tourists, and at a Jewish center. To mark the 1-year anniversary of the event, PBS stations across America are going to broadcast a documentary called The Mumbai Massacre. And the director of the documentary, Victoria Pitt, is with us today. Victoria is an Australian independent filmmaker who has done a number of other films, and this is her first time that she has done a work in India. Victoria, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Aseem. Nice to be here.
Victoria has come all the way from Australia actually to promote the film, so it's really great to get a chance to talk to you. The film is going to be shown on Wednesday, the 25th, which is the anniversary of the attacks. This was a major undertaking in terms of going to Mumbai, I'm sure, and then tracking all, some of the survivors, telling their stories. Tell us about how you went about doing this.
Well, it's been a long labour, you're right, and a fascinating journey, really. I suppose that it really began with choosing which story we were going to tell. These attacks happened across 3 days to the whole city and in many different locations. We were also, really aware that many different documentaries, major works were underway. So we didn't want to replicate all of that, and really our journey began by choosing which story we were going to tell. And the story that we decided that we would look at would be the element of siege within those attacks. Some of the attacks were quick-fire attacks, like the terrible attacks on Victoria Station and the Leopold Cafe, and others unfolded over the course of days. And we decided we'd make that our focus, to ask, what's it actually like to be caught up in that kind of terror, to actually be stuck in it and have to make decisions about how you might survive. So we began with that kind of a question and then went really in search of people who'd been through that experience. So the beginning really was many, many weeks with a phone strapped to my ear, calling all around the world, speaking to scores of people about their experience. You can imagine that there were plenty of people who were very traumatised and really didn't feel that they were in a position to speak. So, and we took that as read. We didn't in any way attempt to persuade people who are in that position to change their minds. But really, bit by bit, we began to find a sort of a web, a network of people, people who'd worked in the hotels, people who were visitors, people who were witnesses in different ways, who had some piece of the puzzle to offer. And then we started to put that together and look for a kind of a narrative that we could construct through that.
And the goal of the film basically is to, exactly a year later, for people to experience that, sort of share that experience that these people had gone through, the human angle as such. Is that what you were trying to reach? I mean, because you said there are other documentaries and I'm not sure what their focus necessarily is.
Well, that's right. I suppose that there are many, across attacks of that scale, there are many stories to be told, and all of them should be told. Our focus really was exactly to do that, to give a sense of what it was actually like to be stuck in a state of siege. And I suppose that's particularly fascinating because terror is something that we all think about. It's become a kind of a global obsession. A lot of terror attacks are over in a matter of seconds or minutes. If it's a bomb, the long-term impact, of course, is longer, but the actual experience is very brief. Whereas these people were stuck for hours and in some cases for days in a direct relationship, horrible relationship with the terrorists. And what we wanted to ask was, what's it like to actually be in that position? What goes through your head? What sort of decisions do you have to make? And these sort of decisions are about, I hit these stairs, do I go up or do I go down? Do I take the left door or the right door? And the difference between those things is the difference between life and death. So we wanted to know about what it was actually like to be placed in that position. And also we wanted to know if you'd had that protracted experience of being in the pointy end of terrorism, how you would feel afterwards, how you would process it. And I think that's one of the most surprising things about the film, the final reflections of the people that we speak to.